Hi, I'm John. This is my show, A Sports Reckoning. So I'm going to clear up a little bit of my story, what's going on with me and stuff, and why I act the way I do, why the way I feel towards people, the way that I feel towards them, and, why I kind of lash out and stuff, right? So my big thing is, the reason I'm in here on YouTube is that I've done this incredible investigation into Michael Jackson actually being the love child of Dianna Ross and Smokey Robinson, right? And I've done a seriously legit, quality, in-depth investigation into it. It's phenomenal. It's so good, and the stuff I found, it's just phenomenal, right? So I tried to have interactions with the Michael Jackson community, and they didn't like me. So then they all turned against me, and none of them would comment they wouldn't give me their opinion about my work. And it's like, wait, just give me your opinion about my work. I don't care about all this other stuff. All they want to do is make fun of you or whatever. Stupid shit. It's like, judge my work. I'm begging you to judge my work. Give me your opinion. I seriously, literally, all of the Michael Jackson community, none of them have ever given me an opinion about my work. And it's mind-boggling. I don't understand, right? And so my big thing that what happens is like they're withholding information. It's like, look, if I could go out and if I could do, there's things I'm limited in things that I could do. So it's like, well, I'll get in here. I'll talk to people that should have interest in this stuff. They can help spread it. That's all. It would spread so fast and stuff, right? As soon as they start talking about it, boom, that's it. It's over. But not only would they not talk about it, they ordered people to not talk to me. And so that's when I went on the attack. So it's like that. It's like the common thing, fight or flight. And if you guys can see the way of which I respond here, I kind of fight, right? I kind of have my soul is like to fight and shit, right? So I've been before I got to the sports car community. So I was I'm still in the Michael Jackson community. But then I went to what was called the Truther community. After Kobe Bryant died, I started making videos about investigating the death of Kobe Bryant, and I got a lot of attention on my page. But then that led me to the Truther movement, and it led into more of a conspiracy-related type of videos, of which at that time YouTube was harshly cracking down on and putting strikes. So, like I had made, and I don't even want to say the words and stuff because I'm worried. Always have to worry. YouTube did it. It made me worry about having to get strikes. So I realized it's like I had to protect my Michael Jackson story. So I went ahead and just deleted every video I had that was related to like the Kobe Bryant investigation and videos that I was doing. I just went in and got rid of all that because it's like it was a cluttering up my Michael Jackson page anyways, right? So it's like, well, let me just get rid of that. But I had it huge. Like my first Kobe Bryant video probably had like 500,000 views, right? But I deleted it. I got rid of it. And I never made any money off any of the stuff I was doing. I wasn't monetizing. I wasn't doing it for that. I was doing investigation. That's it, right? So I had the problem with the Truther community. I went in there because I would try to get to the Truther community. Like I said, I was in there. My videos were getting seen, but then I would tell them, look at the real thing of what I want to talk about is Michael Jackson. And all of the people in the Truther community, like I could call it like a Call For An Uprising, if any of you people know the stuff, a Call For An Uprising directly. I still talk with him a little bit, He knows who I am, knows what I do, knows all I want to talk about is Michael Jackson. But they had made videos about Michael Jackson saying this and that. They have stories about Michael Jackson. And it's like, well, my story clarifies and clears up a lot of the situations of what took place in Michael Jackson's life. So when I showed them my stuff, it's like, look I've debunked your guys' work now. You need to come out and expose this to the public because you guys were out here telling lies and I've debunked you. So I thought, well, you're obligated to speak about this. But they wouldn't do it. They refuse to ever mention anything. They just will not mention that somebody's saying that Michael Jackson's actually the son of Dianna Ross. They will not even talk about it. They will not say it. So it's like, screw the Truther community. So I went into the black community, like black hip hop community. You find people like, there's like Sinetta. I was real interested in Sinetta because Sinetta's like around Harlem. That's like where he started on the street, getting his grind and, building up, cutting his teeth and shit. He worked right next to the Apollo. He would put up all these pictures about like slavery and talking all this stuff, his Black Power movement stuff and all that stuff, right next to the Apollo. And it's like, well, dude, you're right next to the spot where Michael Jackson is very famous and well known for coming up and cutting his teeth at the Apollo and stuff like that, right? And so I tried to talk to like Sinetta. Then there's like a person, Hassan Campbell. Hassan Campbell was sexually molested by African Bambaataa. And so this is another big part of like things you people don't know that I've seen and I've experienced here, and why I'm in like doing stuff about pedophile stuff now, right? So it's Hassan Campbell's big now in YouTube, but what he talks about, what he mainly talks about, is when he was a kid and he grew up in the Bronx River projects, that he was being sexually molested by African Bambaataa. And it's like, I mean, I was a fan of African Bambaataa, you know, rock, planet rock, till stop, like, you know. So I understand who African Bambaataa is, right? So, but the ironic thing about Hassan Campbell is that he was molested, right? But he endorses Michael Jackson, but he says Michael Jackson was pimped out by Joe Jackson, and then that's why he went and became a child molester. So it's like, wait, you were molested, but you support Michael Jackson, but you're claiming that he was molested, and that's what turned him into becoming a molester. And it's like, man, you got it all wrong. They don't know what they're fucking talking about. When it comes down to it, when they bring up Michael Jackson, they flat out don't know what they're talking about. And so I tried to have conversations with him. They never would have conversations, so I started doing what I do. I started making videos about them. So this page right here, my Sports Reckoning, this page actually at that time I was calling it the Today Slave, because it's like 1984 George Orwell of the time and place of which we're living right now. I feel that it's total like the Today Slave. It's like, well, this is the modern slave. It's like the Today Show, and it's like, well, I'm the Today Slave. That's the way. People don't understand my logic and shit, right? My reasoning. And so I went into the black community with the page called the Today Slave. That's hilarious and shit, right? But they didn't get it. And then so I started having a conversation with a bunch of different people. Then they just all jumped on me because I was trying to talk Michael Jackson. They started calling me a pedophile, and they thought they'd have information. But I came back and debunked all their shit. And I went blasting on them, and none of them could hold up to it. They all fucking just bitched up and blocked me. And that's what happened in the black community. I went and punked all those motherfuckers. And none of them could hold up and withstand any of the fucking shit I was doing. I punked them all, right? So, but Hassan Campbell, it's funny because this page here, the last strike that I've received on this page, my Sports Reckoning, but it was the Today Slave, the last strike that I received on this page came from Hassan Campbell. And so most of you people here probably are not going to know that, but if you do know who he is, you would understand it. So understand, I'm trying to have conversations with people. I go to the right people, but they will not talk to me. And then not only will they not talk to me, I'll start making fun of them. They'll put strikes on my page and shit, right? So also, this page here, the reason I've got some subscribers here on this page, that came from my investigation into Chadwick Boseman, I believe, is the Black Panther. I was saying when he died, because he died of it's not anal cancer, it's what do they call that? Whatever, you guys understand, you know, what I'm talking about. But so I was saying, he probably got it because he was allowing himself to be anally penetrated by the Hollywood elites, because he was probably doing that to gain favor so he could get these big roles in Hollywood, because that's how Hollywood works and shit, right? And I was saying he probably got the cancer, what's that, whatever, the cancer, he probably got it because it was anal cancer, whatever the technical word, it's not coming to my head right now, but he probably got that cancer from that. And so then this page, because I started doing that, this page got a lot of attention, like that, but then I got that strike from Hassan Campbell, and I didn't want to jeopardize because this page is technically connected to my An American Scheme page, my Michael Jackson page. So when I get strikes and stuff like that, which that's what happens on this page here. If you see this page, if all of a sudden I delete all my videos, what happens is I got a strike, and I couldn't jeopardize my Michael Jackson work, so I'll wipe this whole shit off, and so I'll start all over. I don't care. Like people are saying, you do it for the money. It's like, no, dude, I'll fucking clear off every video here, and I'll start the fuck all over. That's the way I do shit, right? It doesn't bother me and shit, right? But so like I said, so I was in the black community, nothing went good there, they fucking just attacked everything. So then I came in the sports card community, because it's like, well, it's sports cards and collectibles, and my Michael Jackson crosses over into the collectibles world too, right? And so my big issue is, what I say is that I've got valuable information of which I will not stand for people withholding this information. Once they're exposed to this information, I will not stand for people withholding this information from the public. This information has to be put out there, and the people that are not willing to put this information out there, I instantly jump on them and call them a fraud. I know that there's something about their soul that they're fake and they're frauds, and they're putting forth an image of what they want you to think they are. But I can look right through that fucking shit, because I've been around and shit. I've got experiences in all fucking realms of the world. I can look right through that, cut right into their soul, and see actually who they are, and then I'll expose them as who they really are. And then they don't ever fucking fight back. It's fight or flight. What do all these bitches do? They fucking run, right? Nobody stands up. So like I said, I'll go to the biggest, baddest motherfuckers. Like at Rollin With FD, he's like, yeah, I like to get in there and tussle and do shit. And so I made this video. for FD, right? I made that saying I want to talk to you and we'll have a conversation about a little bit of, I want to show you about my Michael Jackson stuff. I want to have a little bit of conversation with that. And he did not respond to me whatsoever. And then I put a couple comments on his page and he blocked me, you know? So it's like, oh, this dude's a bitch. He's a fraud as fuck, right? And because he did that, it was the next step for me. You see up here, that's the video where I released, where I fucking jumped on their ass and shit, right? But this happened first. I first had to try to have contact. He then blocked me on his page, and I did this. Okay, fight or flight. So I'm gonna fight. I'm not gonna run, because first of all, I know that my information is valid. What I'm doing with my Michael Jackson stuff, it's so fucking real and so valid that I'm willing to stand up to a challenge from anybody and shit, right? So FD, like here, he's demanding that I be shut down and stuff, right? So now let me show you something here. I'm going to show you some other stuff. So, now this is, okay, so this is FD. In here, looking on this page, this is just, see, December 22nd of 2021, you know? Not long ago whatsoever, he met Spike Lee in person, okay? Now, what I'm saying is that, FD is withholding valuable information from people that might really like to have this information, okay? So the reason Spike Lee specifically is so important is because here's Spike Lee, see, exclusive interview Sundance, because Spike Lee made a movie called Michael Jackson's Journey from Motown to Off the Wall. Okay? Spike Lee made a Michael Jackson movie, and I can guarantee, and I have not seen it. I've never seen it because it's like one of those things you have to pay for. It's not available free. I've never seen it. But it doesn't matter because he's not talking about Michael Jackson being the child of Dianna Ross and Smokey Robinson. So any version of Spike Lee's version from Motown to Off the Wall is just propaganda crap. It's junk. I mean, it's trash, right? So don't you think that Spike Lee would like to have knowledge about the story of what I'm telling and know what the true story of Michael Jackson is? Don't you think that he would like to have that knowledge? Yeah, but is FD willing to give him that knowledge that's available? No, FD's not willing to do that because he's a fraud as can be, right? So I'm going to show you the experience that this is like. The reason I act the way I do, because I've had past experiences with Michael Jackson fan communities, and like I'm showing you, this is the way they treat me. Now this video, actually this video is on my page. It's January 7th of this year. So it was probably the day before that Michael Trapson. This is Michael Trapson. He's really big in the Michael Jackson community. He's one of the big Michael Jackson impersonators, but he's done a unique take on Michael Jackson. He does Michael Jackson as if Michael Jackson was from the ghetto and he smoked weed and hangs out with girls, but he does Michael, it's cool. It's cool. And he actually did one thing that's really creative. Michael Jackson had a Captain EO show that was at Disneyland, and then there was a movie called The Last Dragon with the show enough, you know, and so that guy, right? So Trapson made a combo of, he took those two, The Last Dragon and Captain EO, and he put it together and he made a short film called Trapson EO. And if any of you people want to see something that's cool, that's different, and see that this guy, his style of what he did and stuff, and it's because it's really good quality, you know. I actually really appreciate what he did. It's really entertaining. He's got his original music. It's this cool style of a story he came up with. It's cool. It's called Trapson EO. If you guys want to see it, you know, this is Michael Trapson. His thing's called Trapson EO. Right, it's really cool. I totally would recommend that you see it. Like I said, I hate this motherfucker, but I'm not going to dog him and say that he hasn't done some quality work and shit. I'm not like that. I tell the truth and shit, right? But so, I tried it's been years now, and he knows so much about me, and he knows like things, but he's never once given me an opinion about my work. He just says, no, I'm not going to believe that Michael's not a Jackson because he wants to support the whole Jackson thing. He's not going to do anything, nothing. But everything about what he does is making a living comes from Michael Jackson. It's not the Jackson family. He's emulating Michael, and he talks about trying to be a Michael Jackson fan. So it's like I said, I constantly have tried to have contact with this guy. All he does is block me. I've sent him emails. I've tried. I've tried, and he doesn't do it, so I'll make funny videos and mocking him and shit. Nothing pulls this fucking weak-ass bitch out of his fucking cage and shit, right? So he just started out on his show, he started a thing called Trapson Glow Line, so you can call into his show and have a conversation with him, right? So he did that, so I was like, okay, let me call him. Because that makes it easy. I don't have to do a live stream. I could just call you on the phone and we could talk. That's all I need and shit. So I called him, and I want you to see his response so you people see that this is what I deal with and shit, right? So this is when I called him. This is his response.
But, the phone line's open, guys. Let's chop it up, man. Let's chop up some game.
Call from
An American Scheme. Never. Boy, try to be slick. We know we're not doing that, Bobby. That dog said American Scheme. No. We're not trying. We already see. You know what? I'm gonna give you this scheme. We already know we want your movie to be about. You want your movie to be about Dianna Ross and all that stuff. We're not even going there.
See? He refuses to speak to me. I called him. That's me in American Scheme. That's me. Okay? And you can clearly see that he totally knows who I am, and he refuses to have any form of conversation. Knows I'm talking about the Dianna Ross stuff, but he will not investigate, will do nothing. Absolutely nothing. And no, I'm not talking to you. And he'll sit up here and say, I'll talk to anybody, but not me. But they don't talk to me. So it's like, well, it's fight or flight. People, you wonder why I fucking act the way I do. Do you see what I'm dealing with? So now, this is just a simple little thing to show people. It's like, dude, how many times I gotta tell you, it's not me fucking saying it. It's Dianna Ross. I've just done the right investigation. Now watch, listen to what Dianna Ross says here.
It could be part of my family.
Yes.
We have a lot of the same bone structure and a lot of skin color.
Michael does now because he's had it all done. You take that as a compliment?
Cannot. I refuse you to insult Michael. He's a friend of mine. I love him, and I don't like people making fun of him.
No, but we...
So see how serious she got about Michael when he started making jokes about her. But the words that she says in the beginning, it's like, look this is not coincidence. These are words that never could be spoken by Dianna Ross. Never, ever. And what she says, she doesn't say, oh, Michael could be part of my family. Yeah, we sing the same. Because we're singers and dancers. We were grown up in the same kind of environment. She's not talking about that. She says Michael could be part of my family because a lot of our bone structure is the same. Bone structure? Michael could be part of my family. A lot of our bone structure is the same.
Could be part of my family.
Yes.
We have a lot of the same bone structure and a lot of skin color.
And our skin, and he says, Michael does now. No, bone structure is complete body. Bone structure, it's the whole entire body. So that negates the stupid little joke that Michael looks like her because of surgeries. And it was just like, in the beginning, it was just a nose job, and then he looked just like her. That was like all he had to do is like change his nose because he's got Smokey's nose and Smokey's lips, Smokey's chin. But the rest of his body, the form, like the jawline and the eyes and the actual whole frame of Michael's body is like Dianna. A lot of the same bone structure. And if you actually look at the teeth, they have the same teeth. It's funny because Michael's got Smokey's lips, but he's got Diana's teeth. When you look at their teeth, they're the same. Like I said, bone structure. It's deep. And it's their whole body, their physical body. It's the same. And if you look at their mannerisms, they're the same. The way that they speak and their personality traits, it's like a lot of shit. And so the fact that she says he could be part of my family because we've got similar bone structure, this is like different on a way that's like, what the fuck is she talking about, right? It's massively, but I've done all kinds of investigation. The stuff of what I found, it's mind-boggling, and I'm carrying this burden of having to carry this burden of having this knowledge of knowing the investigation of what I've done and all the stuff I found. And I'm being just totally shut out and denied any access to anybody out there. And the people will not translate this information and give it out to the public. And that's what I'm saying. When I find these people like this and they refuse. So, like Rollin With FD, he's a fraud. There is no having a discussion about it. You're going to tell me, Rollin FD, that you don't think that Spike Lee would like to have access to the information investigation of what I've done? I just showed you he did a whole thing. Now, see, what's going to happen is when my story breaks, I'm going to trash Spike Lee because I'm going to trash him as a horrible investigator, a terrible movie maker, because look at that crappy fucking movie. He had access to anything of what he did, and look at the movie of what he did of Michael Jackson. Did he do anything and break in the story of what I've done? Nothing. So then I get to stand up and say, Spike Lee's a junk. He's a fraud. He's a total loser. I'm going to trash that motherfucker. So the only way that FD could stop that from happening is that if he would to expose to Spike Lee, hey, this is something that's going on in the community, or if they put it out there, if somehow somebody else breaks my story, if these people, when I talk to them, if they break the story, well, then I'm not going to be so mad. I'm going to be appreciative, right? But if they don't, then it's just me. And if it's just me, you're going to get all the fucking attitude and all the baggage that comes with me and all the fucking hatred of all the fucking way how I've been treated and belittled and been shut out as a fucking outcast in all of these communities. That's what they're going to get. And so that's what you see, what you're going to get. You can see the way I fucking do shit. That's what they're going to fucking get. And so I don't want to fucking do that. So I come to these people and it's like, look at, you guys need to fucking spread this information. But did he? No. He doesn't spread no fucking information. He withholds fucking informations and demands, just like you saw Trapson. We ain't going there. We ain't talking about this. No, not that. Not you, Scheme. Not you. Everybody, they always say, I'll talk to anybody. I'll talk to me. Not me, though. None of them. For some reason, they will not talk to me. And so then instantly I know they're fake and frauds and fucking total fucking losers. And then I deal with them as fucking I see fit. That's what you're going to get, motherfuckers. You either deal with me and fucking help spread my story, or you're going to keep getting the bad side of me.